The bar was dimly lit, the kind of place where the smell of old wood and whiskey carried stories no one dared to tell out loud. The soft hum of country music filled the air as a man in a faded leather jacket sat quietly at the corner table, sipping from a chipped glass. His eyes, gray, calm, and worn from years of storms, watched the world without saying a word. That man was Jack Turner, a single dad, a mechanic by day, and a man trying to live a quiet life after years in uniform. But tonight was different. A group of Navy officers walked in, laughing loud, full of life, and wearing their medals of pride and youth. One of them stood out, their leader, Admiral Cole Henderson, a man everyone in the Navy knew. Decorated, charismatic, a living legend. He'd seen combat, commanded fleets, and carried the kind of authority that could silence a room. But when he noticed Jack sitting alone, he smirked. "Hey, buddy," Cole called out, voice echoing across the bar. "You look like someone who's seen a few battles. What was your branch?" Jack didn't look up at first, just swirled his drink and muttered, "Army." The group chuckled. Cole stepped closer, his grin playful but sharp. "Army, huh? What was your unit? Got a call sign." The way he said it, it wasn't cruel, but it wasn't kind either. It was teasing, the way men sometimes measure each other with jokes. The room went quiet for a second, waiting for Jack's answer. Jack set down his glass slowly, turned his head, and met Cole's eyes. There was no anger, no pride, just calm. His voice was low, steady, and carried weight like a whisper before a storm. "They used to call me Iron Ghost." The laughter stopped. Cole froze mid-smile. For a moment, his confident posture faltered, his face going pale. The name Iron Ghost wasn't just any nickname, it was a legend. Classified missions. Men who disappeared behind enemy lines. A ghost who got in and out without a trace. The kind of man even Navy SEALs whispered about but never met. Cole took a step back, suddenly unsure. You're Iron Ghost?" he asked quietly. Jack didn't answer, he didn't have to. The scar running down his neck, the faded tattoo on his forearm, the calm in his eyes told the story louder than words ever could. The bar stayed silent. Cole, now humbled, nodded slowly and extended his hand. "Sir," he said quietly, the words slipping out instinctively, "I didn't realize." Jack shook his hand. "No worries, Admiral," he said with a faint smile. "That was a long time ago. Now I just fix cars and pack my kids' lunch." Cole couldn't shake the shock. He sat down with Jack, and soon the others followed. The conversation turned sincere, war stories, lessons, regrets. Jack wasn't bitter. He didn't glorify what he'd done. He spoke about brotherhood, loss, and how the hardest fight wasn't on the battlefield, it was finding peace afterward. Jack shared how his wife had passed when his daughter, Lily, was just 4. How he'd struggled to raise her alone, fighting PTSD and poverty, but how her laughter pulled him through. "She's my mission now," he said softly. "She doesn't need a soldier. She needs a dad who shows up." As the hours passed, the bar's loudness faded into quiet respect. Cole looked at Jack differently now, not as some old vet, but as a man who'd seen and survived what few could imagine. Before leaving, Cole raised his glass. "To the Iron Ghost," he said, voice trembling slightly. "And to every soldier who fought not just for their country, but for their family." The bar echoed with glasses clinking and quiet cheers. Jack smiled humbly, looking down, never wanting attention. But when he walked outside into the cool night air, he saw a small group of young veterans waiting. They'd overheard the name Iron Ghost. One stepped forward. "Sir, we thought you were a myth." Jack looked at them, the moonlight catching the edge of his face. "Nah," he said softly. "Just a man trying to live." One of them asked, "What keeps you going?" Jack smiled. "My daughter. Every morning when she hugs me, that's my victory." They nodded, eyes shining with newfound purpose. Jack walked away, his boots echoing softly against the gravel, disappearing into the night, quiet, humble, unbroken. And somewhere behind him, Admiral Cole stood at the door, whispering to himself, "Iron Ghost, still saving lives, even off the battlefield." Because real heroes don't need medals. They need moments, moments of peace, love, and second chances. So if you're watching this and you've ever fought silent battles no one sees, remember Jack's story. You're stronger than you think. You're the hero someone looks up to. If this story moved you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs hope, And subscribe, because we tell stories that remind the world that real strength isn't in how loud you fight. It's in how quietly you heal. Heart United States.